Okay, let's go over the three think, pair, share problems um, that related to each of these examples. So the first think, pair, share 223 is what number is 35% of 80? So remember some keywords. When we see the word like of 80, that's referring to the maximum. So on the scale where we've got numbers on one side, 80 is going to be our maximum number, which means that's going to be correlated to 100% on the other side, right? And the way that this is worded, it says what number. So we're going to use X to represent this number we're looking for. And so X is correlated to 35%. So below 100%, we'll have 35%, and that's what X is equal to. So, this is kind of setting things up so that when we try and equate two ratios, we can say that X is equal to 35%. So X is equal to 35%, and 80 is equal to 100%. 80 is equal to 100%. All right, and then we can just cross multiply. So that's where we get this 100x is equal to 35 times 80. Divide both sides by 100, and we get x equals 28. And I forgot to mention, our expectation for our answer. And so you'll notice that we're looking for a value of x that correlates to 35% of a total amount, and 35% is less than 50. So we can expect our value of x to be less than half of the maximum. And so that'd be half of 80. So we expect our value of x to be less than 40. So, is 28 less than 40? It is. So that passes our expectation. The other way to maybe more quickly solve this is once you set this up, convert the percentages to decimals, fractional decimals. So here we've got 35%, that would be 0.35, and 100% would just be 1. So we can just cross multiply what we've got. And so we're going to have x times 1. So we have x times 1. And that's going to be equal to 0.35 times 80. So 0.35 times 80. And, 1 times anything is just that thing. So 1 times x is just x. And 0.35 times 80 just gives us 80, which is the same answer we found that way. All right, so that's that think, pair, share. Moving on to the next one, we've got 7.5% of what amount is 1.95 or $1.95, sorry. So here's that keyword, of what amount. So this is going to represent our maximum number. And because we don't know what that is, our maximum number on the number system that they're giving us, which is in dollars, is going to be at the very top. That's going to be correlated with 100%. And in this problem, 7.5% is being correlated with $1.95. So if we set up our scale with 100% at the top, 0% at the bottom, then 7.5% will be associated with or equal $1.95. All right, so that when we try to solve this and we set up an equivalence of ratios, we can say that x is equal to 100%. So we have x is equal to 100%. And then $1.95 is equal to 7.5%. And we can cross multiply there. And so we get 7.5x, 1.95 times 100, 100 times 1.95, divide both sides by 7.5, and you get x equals 26. And I keep skipping the expectation. So the expectation here is this value of x should be greater than $1.95. Okay, that's our expectation. And we come down here back to our answer. So here's our answer of 26. You know, $26 is greater than $1.95. So that satisfies our expectation there. And if we want to shorten this math down, the amount of time it takes, once we set up this scale, we could just cross multiply here. And so we're going to have 1.95 times 1 on this multiplication. And then converting 7.5% into a fractional decimal, that's 0.075. So when we multiply across this way, then we've got x times 0.075. Solving for x, we divide both sides by 0.075. The 0.075s cancel. And 1.95 divided by 0.075 gives us x equals $26. Okay, now this last think, pair, share, it's saying that 80 is what percent of 88? So our number system isn't in dollars. It's just straight out counting numbers here. And so this of 88 means that 88 is going to be at the top of our number system scale. And if it's at the top of our number system scale, then that's going to be associated with 100% on the other side. And in this, the way that this is phrased, 80 is equal to or associated with this unknown percentage. So here we've got 80 is associated or equal to this unknown percentage. So down here, we're going to set up our equivalence of two ratios. So we've got 100 is equal to 88. So 100 is equal to 88. We have x is equal to 80. X is equal to 80. Cross multiply. And we have 100 times 80 here. So 100 times 80. And then x times 88, which is 88x. Divide both sides by 88. The 88s cancel, and we're left with x is equal to 90.9%. And so that I won't be inconsistent with what I've done before, I forgot to mention our expectation. So you'll notice that this unknown value, this unknown percentage of x, we can expect it to be less than 100. So that's kind of what I put here. And when we look at our value of 90.9%, that does satisfy our expectation that x will be less than 100%. So we're good. And then finally, to multiply this maybe a little quicker, instead of setting up an equivalence of ratios, we could just go ahead and cross multiply what we got. So we're going to have 80 times 1. So 80 times 1. And that's going to be equal to 88 times x. So 88 times x. Divide both sides by 88, and you get x equals 90.9%. Let me know if you have any questions.